8:31. This isn't early. This isn't early for me whatsoever. Whoa there. A little too excited. Whoa, you're getting me all watery. Too much slobber, too much excitement. Settle down, Chippy. I see that tail. That's better. One day. Really bringing the energy to this video this morning. One day. I drew this. Wood. Copper plate on the top. Line tie. 2 hook hangers coming out of the wood. What's that gonna do? I don't know. Hopefully the opposite of whatever this did. I can't even explain what this did. This is the brass plate belly jerkbait. Too much brass, not enough correct placement of materials for stuff to have good actions at all whatsoever. So instead of the metal on the bottom, I'm gonna put it on the top, and it's not gonna be this thick. We'll be using this. Kind of a shame because it's a giant, fully intact, perfect square copper plate. I am kind of sad to have to cut this up, but we're gonna do it. 0.073 inches thick, 1.85 millimeter on the copper, as compared to 3.25 millimeter or 1/8 of an inch thick on the brass. Big difference. There's a lot of things that I have in mind to get decent action out of this bait too. When it comes to carving, the wooden body, the angles that the chamfers will be and stuff. Let's just do it. One day. It's a little better. Get the energy going. One day. There's the copper plate. That glue stick worked exceptionally well. For anchor points into this piece of copper, it'll need 3. I'm gonna be drilling holes, but I'm not just gonna leave it a hole. I'm gonna put steel rivets through those holes just to reinforce the connection. I think otherwise the copper would wear away after 10,000 casts or so, you know? Pop a rivet in there. See if this even looks good. No, it doesn't look that great on one side. That's kind of clean. I think I'm just gonna have to live with that. I sanded those edges down flush that were sticking out. Ooh, it's kind of tight, but plenty of wiggle room. Clean enough for a one day. 2 anchor points into the wooden body of this bait. Let's get going on the wooden part. drew a bunch of lines. This is gonna be a weird shape, but hopefully a weird one that catches water really hard. Blade's going right down the middle like that. That should deflect water. Really shooting for something that I have no clue about in this build. But I'm gonna sand all of this down nicely. We'll carve the gills in the eye socket, drill a lead hole, pour the lead, do all the stuff that you need to do to make a lure. Half-inch hole. That's going to be a lot of lead for a little bit of wood. But I want to counteract the weight of this copper plate. I made sure that the lead hole furthest back won't impede where the copper plate gets glued into the body there. I need to turn on my lead pot. A lot of lead. That should work. Super glue and baking soda. I've been adding it for a couple minutes now without recording. Sorry. Hard as a rock. That feels heavy as a rock too. Hopefully it outsinks the copper plate. Little bit of finessing with a Dremel. I need these connections to sink deeper into that wood to get this copper plate closer to the body. Looks like that did it. Good. Yeah, I don't want too much of a gap. That's appropriate, I think, though. Oh man, what is this thing gonna do? Hopefully something. Let's give it a super glue bath, install its hardware. Super glue and a cup. Got my brush. Whoa. It smoked up on me towards the head there. All right, I got a little bit of crusty removal to do because that super glue went crazy on me. Just like that, we're starting with white. Blood red. All up in there. That looks pretty sweet. Expired blue. I just want something that behind the scales will look okay. I'm hoping that will look okay behind the scales. That's what I'm trying to say. Light olive gold. Should make sure of that. Gave it a transition color between the blue and the red. Nice. Okay, scales. I clamped some fine tool, mesh tool, this stuff to the body. Now, we're actually gonna start with white. I want these scales to really come out. White towards the belly though. Fading to the top. And then a hefty serving of silver. I can't help myself. I'm gonna do a detail smoke black down the middle. Backing up the brush a little too, letting it pour down the sides. Here comes a scale reveal. I have high hopes for this one. Oh! Too much silver. But you know what? That kind of gave it like a broken scale. You know how on bait fish sometimes they have scales missing? I did it a little bit on this side too. I think it gave it that effect and it's a happy accident, and we're gonna move on and not dwell too much on that. If I wanted it perfect, I needed to go a lot easier on the silver. As you can see, it is left in the netting. Kind of a natural look still though. Okay, stuff in the gills. I think we're pretty much done here. I just tried to make that scale defect blend in a little better with some blood red. Some shading around the eye. That brought it all together. We're gonna glue eyes on, we're gonna clear coat. Trying to give myself some time to fish with this thing today. It's almost noon. Gorgeous. Where the scales worked out there, they look good. It was on the bend down there that they peeled off a little bit. So a sharp corner is a bit more dangerous for scales than like nice flat surfaces like that. They look really good right there with the red behind them too. Okay, UV resin, squirted in a cup. On to the rotisserie. I'm gonna let that spin. Want it to level out as much as possible. Gonna let chip out while I'm waiting. It's actually a nice sunny day out, so I'm gonna see if I can just turn it around out here for a bit for it to set. I've never tried this. There's a wasp. The wasp is trying to impede our one day. I think it worked. It's set very well, actually. It worked. The hard Chinese UV resin sets very well out in the sun. Oh, there's a cloud. Well, that is fantastic to know that just the plain old sun is far superior to my lights. It sets way faster, and I think even like harder. Just dry fitting this real quick. That is weird. First reaction to this bait, that is weird. Let's glue the weirdness up. It wiggles, it wobbles. It jiggles and jobbles. Just turned into a Dr. Seuss episode. So I'm gonna put a split ring up here to actually tie to. Had to use some real split ring pliers for that because of the jaggedness up there. But that'll keep my line away from any of that jaggedness, you know? Hooks. That's a weird one. When I was giving this bait its super glue bath with the brush, I was splattering super glue all over the blade right there. Kind of looks like water, so I don't really care. The hooks don't cross. Looks like nothing's impeding anywhere. Everything's flappy and free. We got a line tie. Let's find out if this one works better than this one. Hallelujah. It doesn't stink, that's good. Here we go. Whoa, what the heck did that just try to do? Dude, we got an action out of this. This is a lot better than the last one. It doesn't want to come in perfectly straight. I can say that immediately. It's so much better though. It's flapping. It does a heck of a lot better than the last one. Woo! I'm all juiced up on coffee. Big difference from this morning. Wow. Long drive and a lot of coffee. Here we are at a pond. Here I am with the bait. We're gonna take the lesson that we learned from the last video and go catch a dumb bass quick. Make sure we get it official, and then we'll move on from there. Oh, one of Rosie's hair ties. My daughter keeps losing her hair ties. I'm gonna focus on keeping this bait up high and out of danger. Boy, does it not want to stay up high. It feels good though, it feels thumpy. Far superior to the first bait with a chunk of metal on it. The brass belly chub, is that what we called it? Got a net just in case I need one. Look at that. Yeah, it's coming in absolutely fine now. Perfectly straight on casts. It just wasn't doing that in the test tank, probably because there wasn't enough line and I was pulling up on it too hard. my hand on my truck really hard. Back at it. Whoa. Just about got lucky there. That was definitely a fish. I think I bumped into it though. Oh, that was a fish. Are you guys seeing this? Probably bumping into him though. Third spot. The rivers are disgusting. Even the ponds are disgusting. Let's check the backwaters. They're probably disgusting. We've only had like little sprinkles of precipitation lately, and it's creating just a little bit of runoff and dumping it in very stagnant water. I don't think the fish are liking it, but we're gonna keep chucking this thing over and over and over again until it's dark out. One day! All right, this is looking awfully backwatery, full of snags. I need to be a careful fisherman. I need to shut up too and not make so much noise. So many bugs. Oh my goodness, there's a giant fish right there. What's up, bro? I don't think you can go any further in there. Are you stuck in there? He might have been stuck. We're gonna let him go. Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Hey. Excuse me. Would something just hit the bait, please? I've been fishing this bait so hard for way too long now. I'm trying to ask nicely even. Whoa. Bigger turtle. Alright, I gotta tie this bad boy back on because look what I did to it. What have I done? What did you do? I shortened the back. The back is not so long now, the bladed part, the copper part. It has become more nugget-like. I think it will have a better action because of it too. Apologies for the wind, but I'm gonna be on the wind-blown point. There's storms over there. There's rays of sunshine over here. I'm gonna wait for a thwack. It does work better. Yeah, much more traditional lipless crankbait. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that tail was really impeding its action before. Now it's nice. Okay, I could have swore it. Oh, I do have a fish on. Fish on! Woo! Woohoo! Look at this guy. Look at that guy. What a cutie patootie. It's official. Cutie patooties. Like lipless. What is this called? Copper top lipless crankbaits. That's what I was going to call it. Copper top. I just like the name Copper top. Be free. Didn't even know that guy was on. Hopefully that's not the biggest of the day. Copper top. Fish on. We got another. Same spot. I probably shouldn't be moving. These look young. Another feisty little patootie. It's official. Be free. Many casts later. Those rivets are holding up. That's good. Thing's probably done that about a million times. That part of the bait held up, but that part of the bait didn't. It's not enjoyable to fish with. No. Maybe with a heavier setup I would have enjoyed it more. It was like a 1 ounce rod. This is a 2 ounce bait. Too much. Sinks faster than a rock, I'm pretty sure. If it was made out of solid rock, it would have been more enjoyable, I think. The lead and the copper and the heaviness of this thing just sent it straight to the bottom. And I think it wanted to pull itself down to the bottom because of the shape of the body and everything. I just don't have a lot of luck making an enjoyable bait to fish with when using sheets of metal. It's official. Those are the 2 smallest bass of the year so far in the same video. I was doing a pretty good job of staying away from dinks, but that bait put me on them, unfortunately. I don't want to fish it anymore. I'm calling it here. On to something else. On to the next bait. He seriously gets up immediately. If I say that, he gets up. He was sleeping. On to the next bait. Means go outside for Chippy. Yeah? What's up?
Can I go outside?
Yeah, man.
Why take a picture of us?